My name is Samantha. I'm ASMR, and tonight I'm going to be talking about All Elite Wrestling's Dynasty. I am going to jump right into it because I had so much fun with this pay-per-view. I liked it a lot. I'm just going to let you know I'm going to be doing my nightly skincare as kind of the triggers for this video while I talk about the show. But I'm so excited. So, we are in St. Louis, Missouri. And I'm going to start with the buy-in. When I came into the buy-in, which is like 7 o'clock, we see Matthew and Nicholas Jackson arrive in a Cybertruck, which, if you were trying to get me to hate you, you correctly picked the worst car. I love this. I thought it was such a fun little starter. Like, oh yeah, definitely heels now. And then we go right from there into the first match, which is Matt Sydal versus Trent Beretta. Matt Sydal, if you've watched before, I think has consistently the best outfits, hands down. He is accompanied by his brother Mike Sydal, and he is from St. Louis, which is very cute. So that's very fun. He's in his usual kind of sparkly teal tights, except these ones are the more black and white kind of. And then you hear Best Friends' music play, and out comes Trent, which it's just ridiculous because you left. Like, you want to be part of the Best Friends so bad. Stop using their music. He comes out in the jacket, the Best Friends jacket, and just walks to the ring. It is so rude. So some of the stuff that I like, how I usually break these down, talk about things that I like during the match, and then kind of my feelings about the overall match. So Sydal goes 2. So some things that I liked. Matt Sydal does two consecutive Hurricane Ranas, which are just gorgeous. Again, if you've watched these before, you know that I love when Matt Sydal gets to wrestle, and I am so glad that I get to see him every week now, and then he's getting his little push. And then we do get Trent wrestling more aggressively than we have previously seen, which is very interesting. He sticks his fingers up Matt's nose, which is fairly gross. And then Sydal does do a meteora, which is where he jumps with his off the top rope with his knees going to Trent's shoulders. And honestly, I only picked that out because I thought that would be a very nice trigger word, meteora. And so thoughts on the match. I thought that this was a really great start. I love watching Matt wrestle so much. I'm so happy that I get to see him every week. And that everybody gets to see him every week. Trent again is wrestling much more aggressively. Sydal is doing really good though. Really chopping him down throughout the match with like jumps and kicks. And then the match ends up ending with the running knee kick from the corner by Trent, the same one that he did to Orange Cassidy when he, betrayed him. And then he ends up tapping Matt out. So he starts to beat up on Sydal, and then Trent actually comes out to make the save, and then Trent gets the mic and is basically like, how dare you not pick my side? Which is it's just so funny, because what do you mean, how dare he not pick your side? Are you joking? Okay, so he gives him an ultimatum, says that he has to pick by Wednesday, so I'm looking forward to that. And then Orange Cassidy music is played. He comes out, stands at the top of the ring. Trent has nowhere to go. He's on the ramp in between Chuck, who's in the ring, and Orange is at the top of the ramp. Then Shibata's music plays. Shibata comes out, giving Trent a chance to escape into the other tunnel. We have transitioned into our next match. Orange Cassidy and Shibata versus Lee Moriarty and Shane Taylor. Very, very exciting. So, this match ends up being very, very fun. Katsuyori Shibata is just so amazing. I just really like to watch him as well. I think that he's very fun. I like his little translator gimmick that they've been doing where he said that he liked Renee's necklace. There are a lot of holds to start this match, but then it transitions to all this stuff on the outside that's just amazing. Lee Moriarty, by the way, is wearing his usual puffy yellow jacket, but I love it, so I have to acknowledge it. Shibata, we have Anthony Ogogo, obviously, who's part of Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty's little team. He's on commentary. Shibata uppercuts him. Slay. And then Cassidy is on the outside, rolling into the ring to break the count, rolling back out, hitting Lee Moriarty, rolling back in, rolling back out, hitting Lee Moriarty, rolling back in, which is more aggressive than we usually see from him, which I thought was very fun. You can tell that Trent is kind of getting to him, and I think that they've done that storyline in a really wonderful way. I think that even though it wasn't them fighting, it came across in the match, which I really liked. Then we have Shane we have Moriarty trying to pull Orange down, and Orange just takes, so when Lee Moriarty is under him trying to pull him down, and Orange just takes Lee Moriarty's hands off his hips and walks away. So funny, loved it. I would love when they do a move where you're like, yeah, that's what you would do, obviously. So then we have Shane in the corner while Orange very lazily hits him, followed by Shibata chopping him really hard, and then a lazy hit, and then a chop. It's very fun. I really like it. Then we have Shane Taylor pulling Orange up into a power bomb while Katsuyori Shibata goes behind him and starts to choke him out. In the end, it ends with an Orange punch to Moriarty with a cover to win. Yay! Orange and Katsuyori Shibata win, which is very nice. I like that throughout the match, you can tell, as I said, that Orange seems more aggressive than usual. So many things in this match. This will be a theme of the pay-per-view that I feel like I've not seen before. Which maybe that's just me, but I had so much fun just seeing these new little moves that I felt like I hadn't seen before. And that will continue. So we have the last match of the buy-in. We have the Bang Bang Gang versus the Acclaimed. Bullet Club Gold, I'm going to call them for the rest of this, comes out, because I can't say Bang Bang Gang over and over again. They are in all red. Fantastic. They are in red versions of their usual mirrored outfits, the Guns are, and then Jay is in his all red outfit, which we've seen before, which is a sleigh every time. This was great. I love color coordination. Fantastic. And then Billy Gunn is wearing these like melted crayon looking little shorts, which I also really liked. I thought that those were great. Max gets through his whole rap, then cuts the music and does like a little freestyle, and then gets through that. And Bowens, well, he gets through, but Bowens has to cut him off. And after he cuts him off, they cut to Jay White, and he is just giggling away, which I think is so fun. I think it's nice when they have fun. So the match, Billy Gunn very clearly wants to get to Jay White, but Jay White is not going to let him or us, the audience, have the pleasure of that until later. The Guns, however, seem to very clearly want to be at their dad. They kind of seem to be wanting his attention, which is very fun. Colton actually gets a little solo moment where he hugs his dad, and then Billy punches him, and I go, this is why I can't root against the Guns. Like, he gave him such a big hug. I can't root against them. Yeah, what am I supposed to do? I can't root against him. That's so... whatever. Jay throws Caster into the barricade on the outside, and then basically goes like, me? Did I do that? Which is kind of his thing throughout this match, where he's like, oh, me? I could never do that. Which I liked. I thought it was funny. Bowens continues to be the workhorse, I feel, of the Acclaimed. Like, he gets in there and just does his job, and I love that. It's always great. I really like seeing him wrestle. I actually would like him to see him do a singles match every once in a while, because I think it would really work for him. At one point, Cassidy starts to march over to Jay on the outside, and Jay points at him and starts yelling, rap, 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 like a little tattletale. How could you not like him? That's so funny. That's hilarious. Colton does a wonderful famouser to his dad, and Jay ends up hitting... my printer ran out of ink. I cannot see my notes. Jay ends up hitting Billy with something. Sorry, guys. I can't read my friends. That's okay. Not the end of the match yet. There's a famouser and a mic drop to Jay, but he ends up kicking out, which is crazy. Finally, he ends up winning with a Blade Runner to Billy, and then they are now the Unified Trios champs from the ROH and the AEW side. This is great. I want to see them on my screens every week, so I'm very glad to have the chance to do that. I think it was time to move along, because I think that the Acclaimed can actually do more when they're not champions, at least for right now. So I'm very excited to see that. Just great. Love it. Okay, so now we start the pay-per-view, and we have the Continental Championship, which I had had to remind myself. I was like, what the heck is the Continental Championship? I was like, who did Okada get this from? It is from Eddie. It's from that Triple Crown. Forgot that they were all different things for a second. I'm going to put my glasses on. Wow, this dries for a little bit. So it is Pac and Kazuchika Okada. They are both in their regular outfits. Pac is in more of a dark gray trunks than black, which I like. And then Okada's in his usual silver, which I love. Looks great. Beautiful. Pac is very slow and deliberate and mean throughout this match, which is very funny. Because he's the bastard. Fantastic. Then we have Okada. His thing in this match is that he is just so good at drop kicks, which, again, I have to respect. Okada drops Pac on his head on the outside, and it is rough and worrying, but it's okay. Pac does a springboard moonsault off the top rope, which is a little backflip, and it is gorgeous. It is so beautiful, stunning. He never disappoints. Okada flips off the camera. Love. That is our first flip off of the night, not our last. So, look forward to that. There is a black arrow attempt from Pac, which is like his, I don't even know if it's 450. I don't know what it is. It's crazy. I usually try and explain these things in case people don't watch wrestling who are watching this, but I literally have no idea how to explain it because it's crazy. And he just lands on his face because Okada rolls away, which crazy. There's a black arrow again, but Okada gets the knees up. Rainmaker from Okada. He pins to win, retaining his championship. Once again, in this match, they are doing things that I feel like I've never seen before, and we now start the, not only have I not seen it before, but it is like the most difficult next move that they could be doing. Like, you're like, oh, I know what they're going to do, and then they do something so much harder and so much more difficult, and you're like, I guess I didn't know what they were gonna do, which is just fantastic. But yeah, I love them. This was so fun. This was such a great start. And next, we have the trios match, which also does not disappoint. So it is House of Black versus Eddie Kingston, Adam Copeland, and Mark Briscoe. As always, House of Black understands theming and matching while still looking like individual wrestlers. They did red and black this time. Perfect. The match is pretty quick from the start. Most of these matches tonight have a pretty quick start, which I always appreciate. I want to be hooked in. I don't want us to be circling the ring and looking at each other for 5 minutes while the crowd applauds, because I'm bored. So, Malachi is not letting Adam Copeland get to him, very similar to Jay White earlier in the night. Brody and Eddie have a wonderful moment with their chops, and Mark jumps off a chair that's on the apron and flips over the ring post onto Brody King. Yeah. Perfect. No notes at all. Literally no notes. Eddie is pointing at Adam on the outside to tell Malachi that Adam wants to fight him, which I love. I love Eddie. Eddie and Mark get power bombed by Malachi and Buddy off the top rope because they were trying to power bomb Brody, but instead Adam power bombs Brody. Great. What a sequence of events. Fantastic. 3 spears simultaneously to all of the House of Black by the other team. so fun. I yelled, I whooped. Malachi Black then, in order to win, missed Adam in the face right as he is about to spear him, and he is so much mist. Like, he is just covered in black mist. I don't know how he yelled all of that in his mouth. Pin to win. Overall, very fun, very unique, just wonderful. So now we transition to the TBS Championship with Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. Stokely is on commentary for this one as well. Willow and Chris come out in matching outfits. I think matching. Chris is in hot pink and black split leg pants. Dying. And Willow is in a hot pink and lavender outfit. Amazing. Julia is in her little pointy shoulder outfit, which I love. So the match is actually, just compared to the matches that came before, is short. It felt like a 7-minute match. I didn't go back and time it, and I should have. It felt like 7 minutes. It felt short. But I saw somewhere that Julia might be wrestling injured, so I get it. I'm very glad that they were able to still have a match. So Willow absolutely stomps her out from the start. Another quick start. Fantastic. We got places to be. We come backstage. We see Mercedes Moné in an all pink outfit with an all pink fur. Yeah. Willow drop kicks nothing. She really misses because Julia moves. Love that. We get a babe with the power bomb, and Willow is now the new champion. So Stokely and Chris then give us the best friend hug from opposite sides while Willow is in the middle, since we will not be getting it from the best friends anytime soon. I thought that Stokely and Chris were going to do something awful for a second, because now I'm scared, but they didn't. They just gave her a hug. Mercedes then comes out to let her intentions be known that she wants to go for the TBS title. Willow goes and celebrates with her mom and her sister, which is very, very cute. I do wish we got to see Julia's reaction to what happened. I think that would have been really great, but unfortunately we didn't. So I thought that this was going to be Jericho and Hook next. It was not, but I had already gotten up to take my pee break, and then they started playing the video package for Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly, and I had to pee really, really fast. So this is for the international title, and I have a confession to make. All of a sudden, just like Roderick Strong clicked with me. Like, I got it. I don't know why. The past 3 days, I've just been watching his interviews and, finding out all the stuff that he did in NXT. I don't know what it is. I used to think he was so boring. And then he was jealous ex-boyfriend, and I was like, I guess I need to trust the process. But anyway, he's my new favorite right now. So I was so excited for this match because I became a Roderick Strong stan. Just overnight. I found out he was married to Marina Shafir, and I was like, yeah. I can't tell you. They announced Kyle as being from Vancouver, which I didn't know. Just thought that I would make a note. They both come out in t-shirt and trunks, which, if you know me, elite combo. I love big top, little bottoms. It's just so funny to come out in your t-shirt and your little underwear. And Roddy comes out in the same outfit with his little boots and half and half trunks, which I know people hate because it is the bare minimum of design, but I love, I'm like, oh, graphic design, color blocking. So, the Kingdom is banned, and Roderick still does the full entrance, like, with the sitting on all floors, and then, like, this, with the lights and everything, and there's just nobody else there. It's so funny. I loved it. So the match, Kyle is just crawling all around Roderick Strong and getting him into different holds. A lot of holds. But it's okay. Like 4 minutes in, there are 2 backbreakers from Roderick to Kyle. There end up being 8, in case you were wondering. The Messiah of the backbreaker really lived up to it this time. There is a super loud chant from Roddy to loud chop from Roddy to Kyle. It is so loud. He then is screaming in Kyle's face, "This is what you wanted." Fantastic. I love cinema. There's a double knee backbreaker. Again, one of a couple, but 8 total. Then Kyle is just killing Roderick's leg, going after it over and over again. Also, they had I don't know if they were just being loud or they had the mics turned up in this match. It was most of the night, but you could hear them yelling in pain a lot. They were breathing real heavy next to the camera. Kyle then gets Roderick tangled up in the ropes, then jumps on his face with his knee off of the top rope. Fantastic. This match is mean, which I love. And they know each other so well, and it just shows that they know each other so well, and it's fantastic. There are chops and kicks returning, which then leads to a counter move sequence, and it is just so fascinating to watch 2 people wrestle each other like this. It's fantastic. Wardlow then enters behind Kyle, and you think he's going to do something, but the ref catches him, and he just gets off the apron. There is a Katsuyori that just looks so painful. It looks like it hurts so bad. Then we get the 8th backbreaker of the night. It is a double knee backbreaker, and Roderick Strong retains his championship. Then, some more background. Adam Cole rolls out in his wheelchair, and my mom had asked earlier in the night, I haven't seen Adam Cole in a bit, and I went, well, they said that they took him off, like, the touring schedule because it was messing with his healing, so they just want to, like, make sure that he's healing okay, so he probably won't be back for a bit. And then I literally told her, unless they're lying to us. And they were, because Adam gets out of the wheelchair, walks down the ring, gives Roddy a big hug. But not before. Adam goes behind Wardlow and gives him this real mean look. Ridiculous. But then the Kingdom hoists Roddy up on their shoulders, and then he gives another hug to Adam, and they're out. And now we get the match that I thought was going to be before this, which is Chris Jericho versus Hook for the FTW Championship. They're in their usual outfits. Chris is now the learning tree. I don't know. So it's an anything goes match, and well, FTW rules, so anything goes. And then also, apparently, you can just put your feet on the rope to give you the leverage to hold somebody down. That doesn't, like, they said that was allowed, but I don't think that it should be. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, Hook is really dominating at the beginning of this match. There's also a very quick start to this one. We get a trash can lid being bashed into Jericho's head. Jericho goes through a table in a crazy way. This is like 3 times what the move was called, and I can't remember. It was like a half power bomb, I don't know, off the apron. Jericho is getting booed out of the building. It's rough. It is funny though. I hate to say it, but it is funny. There is then a trash can is put onto Jericho, and then Hook just beats the trash can with a stick, and then suplexes him while he's still in the trash can. Beautiful. There are tables in the corner. What's gonna happen? What happens is Jericho goes through it with Hook on his back, and then puts his feet on the rope to pin, which again is apparently allowed. Why even have a sanctioned match? Whatever. There is a low blow to Hook, and then every time Jericho pins Hook, he apologizes, and that just pisses me off. That just annoys the crap out of me, for real. I'm like, stop apologizing. Like, it's patronizing. And he's gonna say that, like, that's the goal, but I don't know. It just feels patronizing. Then we get a double flip off from Hook to Jericho before Jericho ends up pinning to win, and we are in the darkest timeline. So yeah, didn't love that. Bad. Jericho's now the FTW champion, which I knew was gonna happen. You know when it like starts and you're like, oh no, this is not going to go how I had first assumed. That's what happened. And then Taz doesn't even suplex Jericho. Like, what was it all for? So next we have Thunder Rosa versus Toni Storm for the Women's World Championship. Thunder Rosa is in feathers and a mask, and then she takes off the mask and reveals that there's no face paint, just beautiful eyeshadow. Toni is in a "oh no, I killed my husband" robe. You know what I'm talking about? And a white two-piece, very Marilyn Monroe. She has her hair in victory rolls, I think, right here. Fantastic. The match, again, another fast start. Love it. Perfect. Thunder jumps into Luther and Toni, and then Mariah comes to Toni Drift's defense, and doesn't quite work. Thunder punches Toni so hard in the boob at one point that you can hear it, and I know that hurt so bad. Like, I know that so much. Toni is just stomping on Thunder Rosa's back at one point. Most of the match is targeting Thunder Rosa's back, and then Rosa is doing a lot of punching. Just in case you're wondering. Mariah is on the apron to, try and get in there, and then Deanna comes out from the back, pulls her down, and then they fight into the back, which was wonderful. There is a hip attack, but Thunder Rosa kicks out. Then there is a backstabber and a submission to Toni, but she breaks it, hits a Storm Zero, and retains, which is so lovely. She's carried off by Luther. Wonderful. I did think that Britt Baker was going to come out. I guess not. That's okay. I don't mind. Next, we have Will Ospreay versus Brian Danielson. Yay! Brian is in his silver dragon scales, which is very fun. And then, oh my gosh, where did my chapstick go? Will is in gold and green with like white feathers, but his jacket and tights, but his jacket. And then there were also gold chains coming off of it. It's gorgeous. And so for the match, Bryan Danielson is in this match, so it's gonna be like lots of holds and lockups and tests of strength, which is fine. I will. Fine. Not my favorite, but I'll get over it. Ospreay picks up the speed by flipping backwards over Danielson at one point. It's just good. You know, like, I'll never be able to explain what Will Ospreay is doing in words. I wish Will Ospreay was less likable because he's so good and he knows it that it makes me want to not like him. That's on me. That's a character flaw. But it's how I feel. So Ospreay springboards off of the rope and then seems to get, I thought he got kicked in the dick, but they say he got kicked in the spleen while he was midair. So then obviously Danielson is targeting his spleen or his side. I thought he got kicked in the dick, but that's okay. So Bryan actually slips up at one point by letting Ospreay get to the ropes instead of staying more on the mat, which is where Bryan shines. And then at one point Bryan just throws Ospreay off the top rope with his hands wrapped around his back. It was so scary. Danielson is struggling on the outside after a cutter off of the apron by Will to him. And then there's a lapel lock, which is then locked in on Ospreay in the center of the ring, but he manages to scoot over and grab the rope. There is a Busaiko knee, and Ospreay still kicks out. Sick. He goads him. Bryan ends up goading Ospreay into a triangle sleeper, which is just great because Don Callis is on commentary and he goes, it could be a trap to get into the triangle sleeper. And it is. That was so fun. There is a mid-air Busaiko knee to Will Ospreay while they are both in mid-air. Will Ospreay is jumping. Here comes Bryan with his knee. It's amazing. I'm screaming, yelling. Then we have our wonderful dramatic moment. We have the yes chant from the crowd mixed with the visual of Will Ospreay slowly pulling off his elbow pad, showing that he's going to go for the hidden blade, his finishing move, beating him to it, beating Bryan to the little knee move with the hidden blade, hitting a tiger driver, hitting it again, pinning to win. So here's where I don't like the match. Up until then, I had the best time. Then they decided to play like Bryan Danielson had a concussion and could not walk or something. I don't know. Like a serious injury. This will always suck the air out of anything for me. It will no longer be fun. I will no longer be having a good time because I don't want them to be hurt. Like, they looked, but besides that, it was great. They looked genuinely tired and beat down from fighting during the match, which I think is so hard to pull off. I just didn't like the end. So next we have Matthew and Nicholas Jackson versus FTR in a ladder match to see who will be a 3-time tag team champion. They are in their little sparkly vest and pants combo, the Young Bucks are, with, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, I feel like their new theme is supposed to sound like Succession's theme. Like, it's got that kind of, like, high piano. I don't know. That's just what I get. FTR then comes out in full matching sweatshirts. Amazing, which I love. Once again, just fantastic. They are tearaway pants. How are you gonna be mad at that? So, the match. They immediately start with an EVP trigger and conk their knees together. Matthew puts Cash on a ladder, lifts it up, and then Nick cannonballs on top of him. Ow. Dax is bleeding. They put Dax between the ladder with his bloody head and then hit him over and over while he is between the ladder with a steel chair. Seems like overkill. There is an EVP trigger to Cash on the ladder. This is definitely the Young Buck show for the beginning of this, which is very fun because I like how they wrestle. FTR then end up turning the tides as they put a ladder on top of Matt, and then Cash begins to climb it while Dax has Matt locked into a sharpshooter. Very fun. Again, something that I haven't seen before. There's so much. Matt through a table, goes through a table in, the worst way possible. He slides backwards and hits his head on a barricade. Has me worried. He then does that later in the match where he hits his head again, and I am again worried. There's a Hurricane Rana from Nick to put Dax through a different table right after that first thing happened. Dax and Nick are on the ladder punching each other, and then everybody is up there, and then, we all get off. Dax takes the shoe off of Matt to harken back to one of their first matches. There is a power and glory from FTR off the ladder onto Nick. Wonderful. There's a 450 splash from Nick to Cash through a table, then a pile driver to Matt from Dax on the ladder, and he hits his head again. This is the second head hit. Then we have to finish the match. Dax hits Nick with the belt, sending him flying off the ladder. They're both wrestling for the belt that's on the thing in midair. He hits him with the thing. Then, as Dax is in the clear, a man in a Sting mask runs up, pushes the ladder he's on over. Security immediately gets him, unmasks him. It's Jack Barry, who has the smuggest smirk on his face imaginable. I missed you, but hey. He's escorted out as Nick climbs the ladder to get the championship. We see Jack Barry throw up the elite symbol as he leaves. That's cinema. That is how we plan a slightly overbooked finish. That was perfect. The video, the footage, bringing everything back up to make Jack Barry the best heel imaginable and give him a motivation. It's almost like they weren't just doing something to be spiteful, they had a plan to do it. Amazing. I loved it. You guys can poo-poo on it all you want. I don't care. That was so good. And now we have the World Championship with Swerve Strickland and Samoa Joe. Swerve comes out in full Killmonger cosplay from Black Panther. He's not gonna lose. He's not gonna lose. Then Prince Nana comes out with a robe from the other founding member of the embassy, drapes it over him. He's not gonna lose. He did not come in full Killmonger cosplay to a show called Dynasty to lose. Joe comes out normal. I'm so sorry, Joe. I love you so much. You're gonna lose. I don't even want you to lose, really. But from that outfit alone, you have to lose. And he does. His face is on the back of his outfit. Come on. Joe is in golden black shorts, Like, I'm so sorry. People booed Joe. Do you know how hard it is to boo Samoa Joe? We get a Joe walk off. Little move out of the way like he usually does. Swerve lands on his feet. You're gonna lose. Like, you're gonna lose. It's so difficult to see a prophecy fulfill itself. Joe slams Swerve through an announce table. He puts up a fight. It's a great match. But, like, he does that, and it's like, I'm so sorry. You're gonna lose. Swerve jumps out of a muzzle buster. I don't even know how you do that. Joe is ripping up the flooring so that there is just concrete on the ground. We are, at the beginning of this match, we are very much getting that choke artist storyline, because even though he lands on his feet, he is getting beat up so bad. Like, Joe is relentless, and he is trying to kill him. Like, Joe is just handling him. Very, very slowly, Swerve begins to get his strikes in, and then we get a German suplex from him. The tides are turning. Then it's back to Joe, because he gets him with the muzzle buster. Then there is a 450 off the rope onto Joe's neck, and a Swerve stomp. Kick out. We get some belt shenanigans. Nobody's able to use the belt to hit each other. Doesn't work. Prince Nana is outside of the ring, dancing for his life. Yelling for Swerve to break Joe's arm when he has him in a hold. It's fantastic. He and Swerve and the power bombing Joe. Swerve stomp, pin, new world champion, first black AEW world champion. Now Nana's really dancing for his life. I will miss Joe as the champion, but I am so excited for this new chapter. I love watching Joe wrestle. I think it is so straightforward, and I hope that they get him into something amazing next, because I really loved having Joe as world champion. But I'm so excited, and I was just sitting there and I was like, please don't let anybody come out. I don't want anybody to come out. I don't want anybody to ruin this moment. And they did it. They did it so perfectly. Purple confetti shooting off. Oh, it was just perfect. This was such a good show. It has like reinvigorated my love to watch wrestling and my need to talk about it, which is why I'm doing this. So I hope that you enjoyed. Not a whole lot of ASMR in this one. Sorry, this is a lot of me talking very, very fast. So I hope that you were still able